Welcome back. You are listening to Radio Tunis International. My guest in the studio today, Mr. Milad Hassini, who is a retired senior inspector of English. He has come today to talk to us about a wonderful book that he has just published. The book is called Different Strokes by Different Folks, and it is about proverbs. So we all know how proverbs, but have you ever thought, that about how they sound maybe in another culture, what they reveal about how different cultures see the world? Well, my guest, Milad Hassini, has done just that in a unique trilingual, or maybe I should say multilingual collection. He has gathered over 1,000 English proverbs with their French and Arabic equivalents, which is really a cultural journey of human wisdom. So before we start, Milad, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here with us in the studio after this long absence.
Yes.
Well, so Different Strokes by Different Folks. This is the latest book that you have published recently with Arabesque Edition. My first question would be, what inspired you to embark on such an ambitious journey of gathering and translating over 1,000 English proverbs? Did the idea come from a love of languages, or a love of cultures, or from wisdom itself?
Hello, Hayet, and thank you for having me on your program.
You're welcome.
It's a renewed pleasure to see you after so long.
That's right.
Right. We parted in the 70s.
That's right.
And then we walked different paths.
That's
and then, by chance, it's thanks to the publication of this book that now we are reconnecting.
A big tribute to the École Normale Supérieure where we were.
Yes. Very good souvenirs.
Right.
That's a very good question. I think what inspired me is not the immediate thing, but what triggered all of this.
Right.
Right. When you listen to radio talk shows or TV debates, there's a proverb that comes on and on and on, which is in Arabic on Tunisian TV and even and even abroad in the Middle East. And من بيته من زجاج لا يقذف الناس بالحجر.
That's right.
Which is a direct borrowing
right.
from English. Right. And I said to myself...
The English one is?
I beg your pardon?
What is the English one?
Yeah. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, but in French, it's a different thing. Well, the French is you have the same, which is a direct translation of this. Ceux qui vivent dans des maisons en verre ne devraient pas jeter de pierre.
D'accord. Okay.
But what the French say consistently and readily is mieux vaut balayer devant sa porte.
Ah, okay.
Okay. And the Arabic one, the Tunisian one, is simple. يا مقطع عرض الناس حط عرضك عثنية.
That's right.
Or to take my mother's version, which is a rural woman and the wife of a farmer, and it said يا محط يا حاطط يا ماشي على زرع الناس
على زرع الناس حط
زرعك عثنية.
That's
so
right.
the same thing. Right. And then the Arabic, the classical Arabic one is the one, but a wonderful one by, and simple but beautiful, by Muhammad bin Idris al-Shafi'i, who is the Imam al-Shafi'i. I'm not interested in him as an Imam, but as a poet.
Right.
And he says, لسانك لا تذكر به عورة امرئ فكلك عورات وللناس ألسن.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And then that's what triggered it all. But what inspired me is, like yourself, we lived in different cultures, we learned languages, we read literature, and we met with people, we saw how people behaved, how people thought. We don't think along the same lines.
That's right.
Right? And then, to me, what is important is that each language and each culture has worth in its own right.
That's
It
true.
has value of its own. You may say, you know, some countries are advanced in some ways more than another, but when it comes to,
Everything is relative.
it's relative. Absolutely.
Depends. I think Emerson said, it's in the eye of the beholder. Right?
Absolutely. Right. That's what we have there.
All right.
Look at this. It's on the cover. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
All right.
Right. Now, French would say, les goûts et les couleurs ne se discutent pas.
That's right.
Chacun
Baudelaire.
regarde avec ses lunettes. And in Tunisian Arabic, كل قرد في عين بوه غزال.
Well,
And then,
it gives an idea. That's right. Or
That's right.
Fi'ainomu, that's
Okay,
right.
it's a bit sarcastic because we have sarcasm in the proverbs, especially, we'll talk probably about this later on. They say the mindset behind all
That's
this.
true.
And then the other one, حسن في كل عين من تود. You know, this is taken from the poem by Umar ibn Abi Rabi'a, which we used to learn in fourth secondary at the time.
That's
Fourth
right.
secondary at the time. ليت هندا أنجزتنا ما تعد
تعد.
وشفت أنفسنا مما
مما
تجد.
تجد.
We used to
That's
learn
right.
a lot of poems. And then she said, you know, Umar ibn Abi Rabi'a went by and looked at the girl, and then he made a compliment. And then the girl wanted
To reply.
no, she wanted to find out whether
to
that was
find-
true. So she asked her mates. She
Right.
said, عمركن الله هل تبصرنني كما ينعتني فتضحكنا وقلنا كل حسن في كل
عين
عين
من تود.
من تود. So
Right,
they were
right.
sarcastic.
Right,
about
that's
this.
right,
So,
right.
And you see, all of them are simple and beautiful and rendered in language. You can't say, for example, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder is better than the French one or is better than
No,
the English
each
one.
one, you know, should be maybe, how shall I say, should be really valued and should be, you know, I can't find the word. I'm short of words.
Appreciated.
Appreciated, that's the word.
Right.
Can be appreciated, you know, in its cultural context.
Absolutely. And then the people express it with their own rhetoric.
That's
With
right.
their own style.
That's right. That's right.
With reference to what to the tools,
To the
to
living
the utensil, to
conditions
the
as well.
environment
Yes.
where they live.
That's
So
right.
if you have people who are living in the desert, then the images they borrow will be from the desert.
Of course.
Well, people
Right.
from the city, they have different
Different
things.
references.
Different references.
That's right. So how long did the process take, and what were the biggest challenges, and what kept you going despite all that?
It took me 2.5 years, but that
To-
is
to gather all these proverbs,
no, to produce the book
to produce the
with
book.
with
all right.
with revision everything. But it's continuous work. It's day and
Sure.
night. Sometimes I have to wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock. I sleep on an idea, and then
Something comes up, and you have
and then
to
it comes up during my sleep. When I wake up, I just go straight and write it
and
down,
write it down before you forget.
before it vanishes.
Right.
And the procedure was simple because I know certain things
Right.
from the poetry that we read, and I know the
There
one
is
from
some background
Arabic.
which is
There is a
already there.
There is a background there. So what I did was collect the one from off the top of my mind first, the proverbs that I know in English.
Yeah.
Make a list of
It's
them.
just a brainstorming
Brainstorming.
thing.
Then
Right.
brainstorming in for the French, and
Same
then for the
thing.
Tunisian ones, and
for
do the
Arabic.
matching.
Right.
But then we had to elaborate on this.
That's right.
We have to research this. I had to think about this. And when it came, for example, to Arabic or whatever, I know who would say this. For example, if you have something about bravery or about, you know, the feeling of being not considered in the community, then you say Antar ibn Shaddad.
Right.
If you want something about, you know, the wit Abu al-Atahiya, Bashar ibn Burd.
Right.
And then you categorize these, and then you go back to the source and find the relevant.
Try to find correlations, you know,
Right.
between
Right.
between
Now, to go back to what inspired me,
right.
like ourselves, you know, we lived in different countries. I taught in the schools, and then I trained, and I did a lot of things, and I worked with Americans, with British, with Arabs from different nationalities, and then all this gave me a sense of appreciation of those cultures as independent cultures.
Right. Because of the distanciation maybe that you had as well.
Yeah,
Because you look back
yes, you look back at
on
this.
things. Not you look back in anger.
No,
That's
look
another
back with
story.
pleasure. With pleasure, and what you get is a sense of consideration and appreciation
Right, right.
of those cultures, and then bridge the gap. In the especially, we need more. We need this more today.
That's right.
In a world where that is tense, where people seem to reject, you know,
Each other.
other
That's
communities.
Right.
And
right.
then, to me, what is enduring is the human aspect of
is
it.
to
That
build
people-
this mutual understanding between peoples,
communicate,
between cultures.
understand.
Communicate, that's right, and understand
And-
rather than condemn.
Right, right. Or stigmatize.
Stigmatize, that's right.
Stigmatize.
That's right.
And
okay.
believe me, this is a wealth. In this book, I have covered 1,550 odd
Right.
proverbs, and it's a treasure. Even for ourselves, it's re-educating ourselves, going back to the basics.
Right, right.
Right.
So proverbs can carry subtle cultural nuances. So what guiding principles did you follow in finding and translating them into French, into Tunisian Arabic, and then classical Arabic?
Yeah, that's the point. Nuance. That's the
Nuance,
core
the
of
subtlety.
it. The title reflects this. Different strokes
By different,
by different
folks.
folks.
Right.
And then we have in Tunisia, كل بلاد ورطالها.
That's right.
Right. That is to emphasize that people, that there is no word for word correspondence between proverbs
Yeah.
and mindsets. And then you have to take people as they are, but there is always gap bridging.
That's right.
The people are not isolated. They have the right to express themselves. The languages, number one, the languages are different.
Right.
The grammar is different. Even in the rhetoric, in the style, we have comparisons are inverted.
Right. Right.
You have the, but sometimes, very often, metaphors are not the same.
Right. Right.
And we have
Because perception is different.
Plenty of examples.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Did you find that some English proverbs that, I mean, from the proverbs that you have collected, that some English proverbs could not be translated literally, and you had to find kind of creative equivalents instead? And can you give us an example of that? For
Yeah,
instance?
plenty of examples.
Plenty of examples.
Okay, I'll read you from this.
Okay.
A
Maybe
bad
one
excuse,
or two.
Okay, a bad excuse is better than none. Okay.
A bad
this
excuse is better
normally,
than none. Right.
yeah.
Right.
Normally, this is said with irony. Okay. In French, is mieux vaut excuse qu'au point. Qu'au
Right.
point d'excuse.
Uh-huh.
L'excuse d'un sot est pire que sa faute.
Right.
In Tunisian Arabic, we have this dialogue. There are proverbs with dialogue. Like, قالوا يا جحا سلفني الشريطة. قالوا ناشر عليه محمصة. Okay.
Well.
In Arabic is رب عذر أقبح من ذنب. There is absolutely not a word that is repeated or translated from any of the languages.
Right. Right.
But the meaning,
different, let's say, different areas of language,
of expression, but the meaning
of
is the same.
The images are different, the
Absolutely.
metaphors are different, but the meaning is the same. They
the
all
meaning is the same.
convey the
Right.
same
The meaning is the same.
Right.
Right. We have plenty. A bad penny always turns up. La mauvaise herbe ne meurt jamais. You see,
Right.
one is penny, one in terms of grass.
How
But-
do you balance?
Can you just
Sure.
repeat this? In Tunisia, you say كل ملح ما يغيب على طعام.
نغيب على طعام. That's right.
وهل يخفى القمر؟
Well,
قالت الصغرى وقد
عمر بن أبي
تيمتها
ربيعة, that's
قد
right.
عرفناه وهل
هل
يخفى
يخفى
القمر؟
القمر. That's right.
Okay. So the whole book is like this. It's
Right.
no
Right.
translation.
And you have chosen to do that in alphabetical order.
Yes.
Right. And
I did this-
not by themes, but
All right.
why this decision? Is it because it's easier?
Well, it's easier. It's simpler.
It's
because-
like a dictionary, in fact.
like a dictionary. It's easy for reference, number one. But you are right. I could have, the book I wrote before, which sounds perfect. It's about idioms,
Uh-huh.
right?
Idioms are
and
great as well. Yes.
And formulas,
Right.
like legal formulas, the administrative formulas when you write, because you go, for example, to
When you
Arabic-
write a formal
Arabic
letter,
texts,
for instance,
and you say
right?
it is not that. It is not that.
No, right.
The British
right.
would not express a legal thing like in Arabic.
That
when you say,
way,
for
that's
example,
right.
somebody is held in custody or released on bail or whatever, you have to know that.
Right, right.
You don't have to create something or to try
And
to
maybe
translate.
because the English language is more economical in these cases as well. And in Arabic, we use a lot of synonyms, الترادف,
Yes,
right? We use a lot
yes,
of that in
yes.
the Arabic language, which does not exist much in English.
yes.
English is a language which is very concise,
Yes. But
especially when it
That's
comes
true,
to these
that's the point.
specific cases.
And then
Right.
what I found out is that the British express, or in English, they express the verbs in terms very simple, concrete.
Right.
For example, you say, you never miss the water till the tap runs dry. In French, on apprécie la valeur d'une chose que quand on la perd.
Voilà.
It's
C'est avoir
abstract.
perdu, that's right.
Voilà. And in Arabic, in classical Arabic, what does it say? وفي الليلة الظلماء يفتقد البدر. It's more romantic.
It's
when you say
romantic,
have the
very
tap
romantic.
and water, and the three of them are beautiful
Right. But each one is relevant to a certain
to
context.
a certain culture, and you have a
Right.
lot of this. The
Right.
level of abstraction, the metaphors that we have in Arabic are different from the metaphors, and that's an example.
So what did you discover about the similarities and differences between English, French, and Arabic cultures through their proverbs? And, well, you were just touching on this now by giving this example.
Yes, there are themes
Uh-huh.
which are, let's say, for example, like marriage between cousins.
Okay.
In the Christian culture, it is incest,
Uh-huh.
right? In ours, it is encouraged.
That's right.
In Tunisian Arabic يقول لك خذ بنت عمك تصبر على همك. ويقول لك أول هتوف وثاني هتوف وثالث هتوف. I'll give you the ثالثة. اللي ياخذ البرانية وبنت عم وتشوف. Right. But in English they say marry. I can't remember it exactly, but don't marry beyond the moor.
Right.
That means marry within the neighborhood.
Within the neighborhood, within the community.
But not among cousins.
Right.
So that's one. Then we have the relation to time in the Western cultures. Time is money.
Time is money, but these are, from an anthropological point of view, I mean, the proxemics of time and space are not the same in all the cultures.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely right.
And in our Arab culture,
Look,
you give an appointment to
you
someone, he
stretch.
comes,
You
an
stretch.
hour later.
It's just like I had a British colleague, and whenever he asks me, what time are we going to meet us? And I
Right.
said, okay, we'll meet at 3, say. GMT or AMT? I said, what's AMT? I said, Arabian Mean Time.
Three-ish.
Arabian Mean Time. It means that it always we stretch.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
it's relation to women. For example, I mentioned it in the book. You know,
That's an important issue.
that's
in relation
important.
to women.
Relation
right.
to women in Arabic is very discreet
Uh-huh.
and very respectful.
That's
In
interesting.
French, you will see it when you read in the introduction, because I've written this.
I have noticed that, which is not not the case in,
Yeah,
in
we
the
have a
French
list
language.
of the proverbs which are difficult. For example, like you asked me about whether they are difficult. For example, say in Tunisian, you say bhim waqdam gara. Okay. I found somehow to accommodate it with.
Right.
And then you
With an
say
equivalent.
رضينا بالهم والهم مرضاش بينا.
That's
Go
right.
find this anywhere else, because we have some kind of talked about the
Nuances,
mindset.
right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
in Tunisian proverbs, like it's more. We have and Arabic we have the idea of regret, the idea of being the backstabbing, trust,
Right.
mistrust, and you find it in Mutanabbi, Abu Firas al-Hamdani, a glut of them.
Yeah,
a glut
it's
of
true.
those.
It's true. We remember all that beautiful poetry
Oh, yeah.
from the
Yeah.
olden days.
Yeah.
Right. Well, were there universal themes like when you mentioned now about women, how the Arabic language, for example, is being kind of discreet about women, which is not the case for the French one. So were there like universal themes or values that transcend the three languages?
Human nature.
Uh-huh.
That's almost, because the proverbs are about shared values, shared experience, shared codes of conduct within the community. But these, they apply to other
Right.
cultures, and they are shared. That's human nature. Number two, values. By and large, the bedrock of those proverbs and the cultures are the same values of brotherhood, of charity, being good with other people.
Right.
And that's
But are there, for example, proverbs that reveal something unique about the mindset or humor, for example, of each language?
there is we have for example in Arabic,
Because humor
in
is
English,
something very
humor,
difficult to
absolutely,
translate.
you have, but in classical we have the humor like the ones I read about jihad,
Right, right.
or the one about يا عمي فرطاس.
That's right.
أعطيني كعب انزاس حوير انزاس قالوا على كلامك الطيب نختاره لك فيالي. And we have this something similar.
Similar.
And then in classical Arabic you say رب كلمة, say كلمة رب كلمة أفسدت نعمة.
That's right.
Okay, so
A word which is misplaced.
a word that is not in its place, or
Right.
an unfortunate expression, or whatever.
Right.
And then you said humor. If the Arab poets, for example, they communicate and they challenge
Each other.
one another.
Right, right.
And then we heard lately about the Farazdaq and Jarir, and we have Imru al-Qais, قل لمن يبكي على رس من درس ما
ما
ضر
لو كان
واقفا
لو كان
واقفا
جلس.
ما ضر لو كان جلس.
That's right.
Okay, and we have so many and beautiful ones. But let me give you one. This one, that's Abu Nuwais. Okay, I took it as an equivalent to let's call a spade a spade. As,
Right. Let's call a spade a
Muhammad
spade.
Sitham, Allah yarahmu,
That's right.
our professor, he used to say, let's call a spade and a cow a cow.
That's right.
The French would say,
Appelons les choses par leur
appelons
nom.
un chat,
Un chat, un
appelons les
chat.
choses appelons un chat, les chats. To me, I found this. قل بح بمن تهوى ودعك من الكناء. Right, and then the rest is فما من دونها ستر.
Right,
بطل
right.
الخمر. Or the other one, ألا فاسقني خمرا وقل لي هي الخمر ولا تسقني سرا إذا أمكن. So
إذا
let's
أمكن
call,
سرا.
let's call a spade a spade. He calls about spade.
Right.
The other one calls about الشاء إن شاء إن شاء دوان الخمر خمرا.
Right.
Right.
In a world dominated by technology and fast communication, do you think proverbs still have a place in everyday life, in today's life?
Oh yeah, as long as people live,
Yeah.
they will not relinquish their culture. They will not their inner soul, because that's the mortar.
Who do you think transmits this culture of proverbs? Who's
My book.
responsible for that? That's part of it, yes.
Yeah.
But for those who don't read
Us.
books,
Us.
you know, grown-ups,
Grown-ups.
adults,
Yeah, but we have
seniors.
yes. You brought up a very good point, is that I observe that the young people today, they don't speak the language that our parents and grandparents
Right.
spoke, with imagery, because the imagery conveys a great deal of meaning. When somebody mentions, quotes a proverb, that it's a nutshell, that's end of the story.
Right.
You will not elaborate afterwards. Okay?
Sometimes
but
I-
then now young people are using very basic functional language, and then we have a lot of borrowing.
And they have coined a new one as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they have coined new terms.
It's everywhere the same.
The same,
But
that's
I think
right.
it's impoverishing language. You don't have that flavor.
Maybe I don't see it as impoverishing, but I see it as, you know, maybe strengthening. It's another wealth to
Yeah,
the language
if-
with these new words coming into the language, so they enrich the data, the base of that language,
In a
rather
sense.
than impoverish
In a
it.
sense.
In a
But
sense.
in another sense, it is kind of contrived, where you have to bring, like, for example, say, connecti.
All right.
خلينا connecti. But I'm not happy with this.
Even with adverts, you see?
But the thing is, with adverts and everywhere you can see this.
It's another story.
And then this could hide, and I think it is hiding the deficiency in the language, in Arabic, in French, and English. And we have to be careful about this. I'm not against code switching. We all do
of
code
course.
switching.
That's right.
But this does not excuse us from using each language competently. And
Right.
that's the point of Sounds Perfect, before this book, and this one is to, my ambition is to hear and read from people, large numbers of people who can speak with competence,
How can we
with
make
mastery.
How can we make the younger generation connect to these old sayings? How can we make them do that?
They're available. We have plenty on internet, you have plenty in books, and then Tunisians are producing books on this. And I think we need to make, during the era of Jacques Chirac, he was talking and advocating like l'exception culturelle française et l'exception culturelle de l'Europe. And they banned the use of l'anglicisme, of English words
Borrowed.
into French,
Into
when
French.
the French
I
had
remember
equivalents.
that. That's
yeah,
right.
Jacques Toubon, they made a lot of sketches about him. And
That's right.
and
I remember that. Yes.
Right. But this is not.
So you think that
this is
political leaders
it's
as
a losing
well
battle.
have something to do with that?
Oh, yeah.
Political leaders, and
All
if you remember,
cultural-
maybe the speeches by Bourguiba,
Yes.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
olden days,
Yeah, that's
and
authentic.
the messages that they used
That-
to carry, and he uses proverbs a lot, and he
Yeah.
uses a lot of
Oh, yeah, yeah.
situations
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. Teachers should do this. The media should do this, because sometimes you have people who come say, "Is this Tunisian?"
Because that's heritage. That's a great
Absolutely.
wealth.
Now, if we
To
live
understand
the
at least
same
how
era
those
as the
communities
Egyptians,
lived.
for example,
That's
or
right.
the Iraqis, but they haven't abandoned their talk right from the start. He's Egyptian, he's Iraqi,
Right,
he's
right.
Palestinian, he's
Right.
this. But Tunisians are losing a bit of this, and I have to be careful about this.
Do you believe that proverbs still shape the cultural identity and moral education as well?
Oh yeah, because it's in us. It is not. It is the culture, the values that we have inherited, and you realize this when you go to live in another culture. That is different.
That's how you appreciate, because as we said earlier, it's the distance. Because you look back, because you look at that from a distance, and you see, these people, say that, this way, but we say it differently. We react differently.
Yeah. And it's only, that is only possible if you are immersed in your own culture and in other people's culture. If you look at those cultures superficially and probably with some doubting, or then you will not get to the core.
That's right.
Get to the core of that. And I know young people do not reach the core of Tunisian culture enough.
Maybe because they are young. Maybe they will look at that, when they grow up, when they mature, when they get more experience in life. Maybe
it's because proverbs are archaic. They sound archaic, but they are so expressive.
They are so expressive. Right. That's
and
right.
And then what it does, it creates bonding with other people of your community.
That's
and
right.
Bonding with
your
identity,
your identity and with your culture.
But I'm not an advocate of being closed mind, having a closed mind, and defending identity. No, we have to be open.
On the contrary, I mean, the fact that you have made this into this, I should say, multilingual, because you have English, French, Tunisian Arabic, and classical Arabic. So it's really an openness, and it's not really, saying that this one is better than that one. And when it comes to language, there is no language which is better than the other one. Each one has got its own identity. So is there a proverb that has influenced your outlook on life, let's say?
Well, many.
I'm sure many, is, like all of us.
For example, you can never tell what you can do until you try.
That's right.
Right? And my message to the young people that I worked for a long time is that always try, never lose hope.
Because it's part of the learning process.
That's part of life.
That's right, because if you don't try, you don't learn.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's very important. So the proverb, if you don't try,
you never know what you can do. Until you try.
Right. I think.
And there are many others. There are many. And then the one that they can, for example, advise young people to consider is this: you may be the best friend. You may be your best friend or your worst enemy.
That's right.
It's yourself that decides. Because what we do is that in the mindset, if we have negative perceptions, we always repeat the same self-talk, negative self-talk.
Sure.
Then we'll end up binding ourselves to that negative self-talk.
If you could capture or invent a proverb, that maybe capture the spirit of today's world, what would it be? What would you say?
Today's world.
Today's world. A big world. A wild world, as the song says.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Time flies, things change. Okay, but that's not, time flies is a proverb.
Right.
But the other one is things change. There is nothing is set in stone.
Certainly.
Right.
Certainly. How do you hope readers will use or engage with your book? Do you hope that they will engage with the book as a reference, as a source of reflection, or as a bridge between cultures?
Bridge, absolutely. And then as a source of reflection, yes, sure. Because it gives you guidelines in life as well. In terms of for example, self-restraint.
Right.
To be careful what you say. Because as they say, a word is like a bullet. You cannot retract it. Okay, I'm paraphrasing.
Right, right.
So you have to be careful what to say and how to behave. so you don't have to regret it and regret it bitterly.
That's
Because
right.
once the harm is done, it is done.
It's when it's
Right.
done, cannot
And-
be undone, as Shakespeare says.
Patience, it shows, emphasizes
Right.
patience as well. Hard work, honesty.
Hard work. That's it.
Yeah,
Hard work. And
honesty.
behind that certainly is a tremendous work. And
Oh, yeah.
I really encourage all those who are interested to get the book, to have a look at it, because it's really very interesting. So where can they find it?
Where can
Where,
they find?
yeah, where is the book available?
In outlets, they can find it at the Al Kitab bookshop
Okay,
in
Kitab.
Tunis, between Ville and La Marsa,
Right.
with Arabesque.
All right,
Then
with
I-
Edition
I- I
Arabesque.
did
right.
Edition Arabesque. And online at
Online as well,
online
it's
at
available.
Ceres bookshop. No,
Okay.
they send they sell
Okay, they can send you a
copies,
copy. You
not
can
soft
order
copies.
it.
Yeah, you can
order it,
Se-
online as well.
Ceres bookshop.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Any other upcoming projects after this one?
Yeah,
so
we
the
ha- we
previous
have-
one was Carnet d'école,
Yeah,
the first
Carnet
one,
d'école, that was 21.
and then Sounds Perfect.
Sounds perfect. This one, and then we have another one which is
Upcoming,
upcoming, Daft Monster Tales. These are it's a
Daft Monster Tales.
Daft Monster.
Whoa,
Monster
is it about tales
That's
about
a
monsters?
satire. No, it's a satire. No, it's fun because my approach is always to give the reader the pleasure, to give
Right.
to give him the smile, and then you have plenty of smile in this book and in the upcoming book.
Well, in this book, I have really enjoyed reading parts of it. I have read it through. It's so enjoyable. It's an easy read.
Yeah.
And once you start it, you cannot put it
That's
down,
right.
really.
No, listen. Normally, when you write a book, after some time, you get tired.
Right.
Right. But I have revised this book. I have proofread it time and again, and with a smile, and sometimes
Over
with
2
with
years,
a
you
laugh.
said?
Over 2.5 years.
2.5
Even though
years.
it's physically
work.
physically it's hard work, and then even mentally, because it is not something that you borrow directly or translate.
Right.
That is easy, but this involves a great deal of lateral thinking. When you do lateral thinking for once, but when you do it through the whole book, finding how Tunisians would say, my God, how is it? It's so beautiful. And I tell you what, I did not work in a linear manner, where you start always from English and then from. I start sometimes from Arabic, from Tunisian Arabic,
Right.
and then how do the British say that? How do they say it in English
Right.
or American
Right.
or whatever? And then sometimes in French, they have very beautiful proverbs, and then I'll have to find the equivalent of
equivalent.
this in Tunisian and in classical
So
Arabic.
it's the brainstorming process.
And I was
Right.
surprised by the amount of wisdom, of verse
Right.
in Arabic,
Especially in classical Arabic.
in classical Arabic.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
Beautiful.
poetry.
And it's abundant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it brings
With
back
wisdom,
souvenirs as well
humor.
from the days we were at high school.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have read all that poetry, by the poets that you have mentioned.
Yeah.
So it brings back
Yeah.
souvenirs as well.
Yeah. And let me, I think we have almost finished.
Yes.
We have two things. Before this, I'll read you another one. Is it, remember, you mentioned the poem. Amr ibn Kalthum. The teachers used to give us, huge mu'allaqat
That's
to
right.
recite. And then they stayed with us. Say, for
Sure.
example, never trouble till trouble troubles you. And then Amr ibn Kalthum said, ألا لا يجهلن أحد علينا فنجهل فوق رهن الجاهلين. And then he says, ونحن المطعمون إذا قدرنا ونحن المهلكون إذا ابتلينا. So you see, I'm not advocating this, of course.
Right.
But it's they say it, never trouble is a warning,
Right. Right.
and the other one is description.
Wow. Beautiful. Well, thank you for taking
Okay.
us behind.
I
behind the
can't finish
scenes of
without
this.
closing with this one.
Okay, we still have maybe one more minute.
Okay, time flies like now when
Right.
you are having fun,
Sure.
and then Lamartine, au temps
Suspends ton vol. That's right.
Et vous, heure propice, suspendez votre cours. Laissez-nous savourer les rapides délices
Oh
des
my
plus
God.
beaux de nos jours.
Oh my God.
Assez de malheureux ici-bas vous implore. Coulez, coulez pour eux. Oubliez les heureux. And what do you have? The same thing in Arabic, in classical Arabic. حيث لذ الأنس مع حلم اللمى هجم الصبح هجوم الحرس.
Oh my God.
That's لسان الدين الخطيب.
That's
جادك
beautiful.
الغيث
إذا الغيث هما.
يا
يا زمان الغيث
يا زمان الوصل بالأندلس.
That's right. Well,
Okay.
thank you
We'll leave
for
it there then.
thank you for taking us behind the scenes of this inspiring work and for showing how proverbs continue to speak to us across languages and generations through a cultural journey of human wisdom.
Thank you.
And the last selection for our listeners today is one that you have, it's a request from you. It is a song by Muhammad Abdul Wahab, جفنه علم الغزل.
Yes.
And it is a beautiful song, and you know
In
what?
homage, this is personal.
That's a tribute.
Because I used to listen to this every Sunday or Saturday, sometimes
Right.
Friday afternoon, during soccer halftime
Right.
or end of the soccer matches. So that's
Soccer matches
beautiful.
with,
He used to gratify us with that.
With late Abdul Majid Msallati,
Allah
who
yarhamhu.
used to be, that's right, in this same studio, in fact. He used
What
to
a
broadcast
coincidence.
from this same studio, so a tribute to him as well, to his soul. May he rest
Okay.
in peace. Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Milad Hassini. For those who would like to
Most
get the book, then it's different strokes by different folks. كل بلاد وارتالها, and it is a collection of 1,500 English proverbs and sayings with interfaces in French, Tunisian, and classical Arabic. You find it in El Kitab. Thank you so much. Our last track for you today.